Okay, so we're back. Thank you everyone for your patience. Okay, so then. We don't like to just start. That's good. It wasn't working before. Now it's working. Great. Okay, so thank you for your patience. Next on our agenda is the presentation of the superintendent evaluation process. And we're waiting for the screen. Leah, would you like to introduce it while we're waiting?
Sure. So you guys have been collecting lots of evidence this year with our yellow folders and with the observations. So this is the one part that's not in the presentation. So you'll have, and then you have all of Lori's goal updates that she's been providing. So that is great evidence that you have. And I'm going to walk you through the whole process very soon.
Do you want to talk about the first reading?
Oh, yes. Okay.
All right.
All right.
You know when
You ready? This is really exciting stuff. So, okay. So the beginning of the year, Lori conducted a self-assessment, and this was something that we got information about really deciding where we want to focus her goals. And then if we can go to the next slide. Then there was an analysis of that self-assessment. There was the goal setting, the meeting with the subcommittee around that goal setting process, and then the presentation of the goals to the committee. And that's basically that. And then from fall to spring is when we have been collecting evidence. So we've had lots of observations that you guys have all gotten, along with, like I said, the yellow folders, goal updates. We've got a lot of information, and all of our meetings. So let's see. So then we had at the step 4 is the formative assessment. So we had the mid-year, which was kind of like just recently, as crazy as that is. And that was, we had 3 observations due. We did collect at least 3 observations at that point. And I think you should have quite a few observations that have been collected over the last couple of weeks that you have now.
Can I add that it's historic
amount
historic.
of observations
It
this
is.
year?
You've gotten
Yes.
more than lots of years, so
Yeah, it's great.
that's good.
Keep up the good work and thank you.
And okay, so then now we are at this next stage, the summative. So I'm going to just walk everyone through just the pieces of the summative. But like I said, all that evidence that you've been collecting is what you want to use to really look at the standards and the goals. All right. Okay, before we do that, exclamation point. We've got April 25th, our summative evaluations are due. And Terry, they're going to you, right? So everyone should send that to Terry. I sent you the Word document. Type in there. Please type in there. Don't write, because it allows us to be able to compile everyone's together. Okay. And then May 9th, we're going to have the presentation of the collective summative evaluation. So in the meantime, between those 2 meetings, the evaluation subcommittee will be meeting and calibrating. And what that means is just we calibrate all of the scores together and do one big whole committee evaluation. based on that. Okay, so what you're gonna see on the top of the document I sent you is this is just where you're gonna put your name and you're gonna sign this when you are complete with your evaluation. All right. Okay, so completing the summative evaluation, you're first gonna be looking at Lori's goals, and she has 3 goals. She has the student learning goal, the professional practice goal, and the district improvement goal. I have populated that into that document, so it's all there for you. You don't have to do anything else. The tricky piece about this is just that the goals have different ratings than the standards. So just, if this is your first time doing that, just noting that it's, here the ratings are, did not meet, some progress, significant progress, met and exceeded. So just so you know, it looks a little bit different when you go to the standards, and you can click it now, Lori. All right, so for the standards, yeah, so the standard ratings are unsatisfactory, needs improvement, proficient, and exemplary. So they look a little bit different, and we have 4 areas of the standards, and then within those standards, there are, I believe they're called indicators or elements, indicators, and there used to be elements too. So Lori, you can go onto that next one. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at each of these indicators, indicators, and you will be doing a rating based on each of those individual ones. Then you will give an overall. So based on how you're rating all of the collective ones, you're gonna then do an overall rating for that standard. That overall rating, can you go back to that slide before? That overall rating is what you're gonna put on here. Okay? So that's, I tried to do this so you can, it walks you through it, but if you need any help, just call me. Okay, yes, right.
This longer one is gonna come after the shorter one in the pattern, right?
Yeah, so you're first gonna do the long one.
Then go back
You're gonna
and
go
plug it
back.
in, thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
So I tried to actually explain this in this PowerPoint that you go back. It's confusing that way, though. You're gonna go, so you do want to skip ahead,
Yeah.
go into those individual indicators, decide on what that overall rating is, and then go back and put it in the top of the page.
Easy
Got it?
enough, yeah.
Okay,
Just
okay.
to clarify, thank you.
So standard 1 is instructional leadership. You can go on there. Oh yeah, standard 2 is management and operations. Thank you. Standard 3 is family and community engagement. And standard 4 is professional culture. So what they say is that if you are giving an overall rating of proficient, you do not need to put a comment, though comments are always well appreciated, right? Absolutely. Yeah. But if you do give a rating of anything else, which would be exemplary, needs improvement, or unsatisfactory, you are required to put a comment there to explain why you're giving that rating. All right, and so I brought us back to the beginning here. So you can see that you are then going to kind of go back, and this is when you're going to put in the rating for the goals. And I think there's one more slide. You're gonna put in the rating of the standards. And you're gonna put in your overall rating. So looking at everything, how would you rate Lori Dorr on her superintendency? So, and then from there, you will add comments. All right, questions? Mary?
Comment. I've been researching with MASC and trying to navigate the DESE website to get some more guidance for people about the overall rating. Their working word is preponderance. I can't even pronounce it right, and I'm a college graduate, but anyway, so I'm trying to get something in writing from them, and I will give it to everybody too. Just, it's more information, doesn't cost anything, but because, yeah, at the end you wonder, and someone asked about what happens if it's an uneven number. And they said preponderance, and I couldn't live with that, so I'm still trying to get more written guidance on that, but I will share it with everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
that is why it's so important for everybody to complete this evaluation. We're an odd number.
Yeah, yes.
Kelly, I saw your hand.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, that, you know, having done this for a number of years, like Clary and Melissa as well, it's really helpful if you start it early, so that if you have a question that you can't find the answer to something, or you can't find the evidence, you still have time to reach out and ask for it, because if you start the night before,
Yeah.
you can't get your answer.
sure. Yeah.
Not that I've ever done that.
No. Great, thank you. So again, if you have any,
I just want to make a quick comment that this is not a Falmouth Public School document. Like, this doesn't
Oh,
come,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
like state mandated. This is not like, I just want to say that.
It would be so much better if we did.
Yeah, exactly. We could tailor it. So thank you. So if you have any questions, reach out to the evaluation subcommittee. And again, it is due on April 25th.
And I will come to your house.
And Terry will pick it up, apparently.
Can I just give a
No,
Just
if
the
it
one
isn't there.
suggestion is to compile all of the evidence you have in a location, so you have that and can start looking at it. So I know, you know, we have a lot of yellow folders and things, so just getting those in one location, so you have it ready. Because April 25th will be here in no time.
Literally no time.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you, Leah.
You're
That's great.
welcome.
Okay, so next first read of the 2024-2025 school calendar. Lori can briefly speak to it.
Yes, so, you know, we've tried to stay 2 years ahead. Because the parents appreciate being able to plan ahead for vacations and stuff. So this is the 24-25 school year. The 23-24 has already been approved and is on the website. This is really follows you know, just about everything we normally do in the school calendar. FEA has already seen it and voted on it, and they would like to also move this forward in this form. So first read, if you have any questions, you can certainly.
Can I ask a question? Go ahead. I'm just wondering about the other page that had like the holidays and things.
The list of the words, so that was voted on last school year, the school year before. Yeah, that we were just voting on this, and then that would come after, so that would be created after
Oh,
this gets approved, then that'll be based on this.
Okay. It is helpful for me to see when those dates
And
were.
I believe it was voted on that it wasn't actually gonna say a specific holiday, it was just no school.
Yes, that
We
is
don't
correct.
vote on the actual
Yes,
wording.
school reset, yes.
Okay, so we will bring the calendar back at our next meeting. I believe it's the 25th, same day as the evaluations. For vote on that. Next is to act on the $500 FEF donation for the music department. Or motion. Thank you, Mike. Lori, would you like to?
To the jazz band that performs at the gala.
Thank you. Any questions from the school committee? Thank you. Yes, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great, thank you, FBF, as always. Next, act on date change for New York City field trip from May 12th, 2023 to May 23rd, 2023. And this was a trip that was originally approved by the school committee on February 7th. Could you speak to the date change? Any-
Just, no, I can't actually, just that they requested the change.
Okay. So, is there a
Make a
motion?
motion. Seconded.
Lots of seconds.
know,
I
lots
heard
of-
Mike and then Phil for the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you. Next, superintendent update, Lori.
Yes, and since I've already mentioned Professor Zito's visit, I'm gonna just two quick announcements. One, the French trip had to be canceled this year. There were only 6 students that were interested, and it just wasn't enough to be able to do the trip. So I just wanted to again, thank you for approving the trip, and we will look forward to next year and hopefully have more interested parties. And the next is my family forum this Wednesday night at the Falmouth High School Library from 6 to 7. And so I welcome everyone to be there. I'm sure that some of the topics will be the topics tonight, so I hope you come so that we can talk through in a collaborative way, and all the concerns, questions you might have.
Great, thank you, Lori. Any questions for Lori? Next routine business, approved school committee minutes of March 21st, 2023. Is there a motion?
Make a motion.
Second. Okay, Kelly seconds. Any edits? No edits. Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes from March 21st, 2023, say aye.
Aye.
I understand now.
Sure.
Now you?
Okay, committee member reports. Harry.
On the subject of French classes, I went into Susan Schmidt's class. I guess it's getting to become an annual event where the whole class connects with a, teacher from Canada. And the teacher has them learn to write, slam poetry, which is oral. And even I was writing one, so I have to say it's risk for them to write these things and then say them in public, but it's always, I love going into the schools. It was another positive experience and of something different that the kids do rather than conjugate verbs, you know, so. Just want to say thanks to Susan Schmidt's class for asking me in.
Great, thank you, Terry. Kelly.
I finally get to say that contract negotiations is no longer ongoing. It's very exciting that we wrapped up, although I missed the grand finale because I wasn't at the last meeting. But we wrapped up contract negotiations with FDA for all the units, and they will ratify and we will vote and move forward. Very exciting.
Very exciting. Andrea.
I wanted to just mention how amazing the meet and greet event for Professor Vieira was. It was, the people there were just so appreciative of the work that we're doing. And in particular, what I heard was that this is something that they were actually using the words that we have as aspirational. That this was creating a feeling of belonging, that it actually was happening to them, and using those words and saying that in particular, it's because this is what they asked for and they felt listened to, and that the steps that we were taking were in response to that. And I think that that's a really important thing that we should consider moving forward, is that we really want to talk to the people and involve them. That's what real belonging is, not coming up with some type of intervention and doing it to someone. It's including them in the discussion and making them so much richer. And this was an amazing example of it. I was thrilled to be there.
That's awesome. Thank you, Andrea. Bill.
Yeah, at our last safety committee meeting, I don't like to go into details when the whole world can watch about safety and security of our schools. But I do want to say that I am very encouraged at the ongoing preparation and planning and constantly looking at the procedures and how to refine and so forth, should an incident happen, or should we have an incident such as with Morse Pond, where we had to take the kids to another school and reunite, that kind of thing. So I am encouraged that that type of planning is going on in advance, because I firmly believe that the more you plan and the more you practice, the better it is when bad things happen. So I appreciate that and the work they're doing on that.
Great, thank you, Bill. Any other committee member reports? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn? No one wants to make a motion. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, none. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you to those who are now headed down to town meeting for the evening.